other team, with all this looming in the balance, is going to even consider him without any clarity about what's going on in the situation?
Somebody will, because of what he did in his first year as the head coach of the Boston Celtics.
The partial owner of the team comes out and says they will not stand in the way of him seeking other coaching opportunities.
So that to me, that means he's fired. So, part two of the Ime Udoka scandal, more information has come out to kind of bring some clarity to it, if you can say that, but it's still a bit foggy of what actually has gone on, and if Boston has been transparent with why he was actually suspended. So, this week, the Boston or more news comes out about Ime Udoka, and I want to say the woman that's involved is more clear now. Also, how the scandal came about, and how it was discovered, and then also what was once being said to be consensual. Was it really consensual? Sticks, what's up, man?
Well, so it's still, Boston is still handling this the wrong way. They're still like holding a lot of information in, and it's still like being real, like behind the scenes and in the shadows with all this information. It don't make no sense to me, because people are always going to speculate. And if they were so upset about, you know, if Brad Stevens was so upset last week about people putting the women involved and who it was and who it wasn't, is that the third, then just go ahead and just bring the information out. Like, why are you piecemealing all of this information to the people? It don't make no sense to me. But for the people who don't know, and me and D-Lo are actually at odds on something right now. Like, I still think, and that's weird. For this is a PMW first,
Yeah.
and me and him ain't really on the same page. But I still think the relationship was consensual. He was just saying some wild shit. So, what do you think, bro? What do you think?
I'm not saying it was still. I'm not saying it was not consensual. I'm just saying, now knowing what we know about the crude language that he used, and then the relationship to come about after that is kind of weird, because the articles, you read some of the articles, it says he used his power over her to, kind of will her into that, into, into that relationship. So it's just, now it's up in the air to me. I still don't like think he should be the only one that's suspended.
Agreed on that for sure.
But it's again, it brought some clarity to the situation of why he was suspended the way he was, but still it's a bit unclear as to how all this really transpired and what really happened for him to have the suspension that he has right now in place.
Agreed.
And then there's some other things that we'll get into later in this segment.
Facts.
About with this whole thing.
Yeah, so the way I feel is that I think up front it was consensual and it was respectful, and they were going through this whole situation in the beginning, like, but as the relationship went on, that's when the unwanted and crude language came about. Like, say for instance, he propositioned her, or they propositioned each other with this situation, right? They went about and did they went about and did the grown-up things a couple of times.
Yep.
And now Udoka now feels real comfortable with the situation.
Yep.
And now he come out saying, I want to, two in the pink, one in the stink, type. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Now he's saying stuff. now he's saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden he getting too comfortable. Now he wilding out. That's what I think it was. I think, you know what I'm saying?
He's saying this stuff in the workplace or via text. How is he saying this?
So if it was through text, we probably would already have seen receipts by now. He probably saying this joint face to face, honestly, because like there's no way in the workplace. Yeah, and that's why, like I said, I agree with you. I agree he should have been suspended. Yeah. I agree he should have. I don't agree in the length of the suspension. I don't think it should have been the full season and then another investigation after the suspension is over. I don't believe it. I don't think that's the case.
And so, not to cut you off, but that is why I still feel like there's more to come.
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the Celtics. I can't tell or decipher if they're trying to protect Udoka's reputation or if they're trying to protect
It's
their
definitely the woman.
reputation.
It's the
No,
woman
no,
in the
not the
organization.
woman.
It's the woman
No,
in the.
not the woman.
You
The
don't think it's the woman at
organization.
all? But
I
if it's not the woman, then why won't they name her?
So I think it's the organization. We've seen this multiple times. We've seen this story multiple times. Sticks is a
Yeah,
man of power has an improper relationship with some woman. They don't care what they don't really care about that woman. They'll throw her name out there as
that's
quick as
true.
something. So
That's true.
I think it's the organization, but then that just brings the that brings like they're using their power over Udoka
Facts.
um, and the woman to like basically keep their name as an organization intact. And then that's where I'm just like, they're all messed up right now.
Yeah,
This
it
whole
is all
situation is so muddy but clear at the same time.
very,
It
very
just doesn't
muddy,
make
bro.
sense.
And it's crazy because you mentioned they using their power over Udoka and the young lady, but the whole situation. So ESPN reported that the power dynamic was the
Hmm.
primary finding and policy violation cited that Udoka did, using his
Hmm.
power over the young lady to have this relationship. But
Yep.
now, top down, the
Yep.
organization is now using their power against Udoka,
Hmm.
and really like they're definitely not trying to keep his reputation at all. They're fucking his reputation up 100%.
Yep.
But like you said, it to me that I don't know why they just won't name her, but they're just trying to. I'm gonna go your route with that because I agree with you. They're trying to keep their reputation higher than anything else because the way Matt Barnes is talking, bro. This joint is if bruh, bro.
Yeah, and Matt Barnes just keeps
Yeah.
going on these on I won't say he went on his social media feed again, but he has gone on done interviews about this
Mm-hmm.
situation once again, and he continues to say that it's going to be ugly and Udoka won't be able to coach in the league once it all comes out. Why
Yeah.
won't they just let it all come out? Or why? I mean, I know it's probably not his place or any other professional in that industry's place to say anything about it, but why they just won't let it all come out and
Exactly.
clean it up where they have to clean it up? Because again, as we said last week when we first talked about Udoka in this whole situation, until it's all out, all the speculation is gonna keep coming, and it's gonna take a left turn somewhere. And then that's when you get
Mm-hmm.
down the avenue of no, that's not. You have to clean up even more than what you would have had to clean where you just came out with all the information outright.
Exactly. Because the way Matt Barnes is talking, he was like, it's not what he did. I guess it's about who he did it with.
Mm.
So, but
It makes me wonder if he really knows, or if anybody really knows. To be honest
I
with
think
you,
Matt Barnes knows way more than he's putting out. He just can't
okay,
say what he want to say, but I think he knows at least 90% of the story, bro. At least. Because he
yeah,
keeps going on talking about it. Because initially he defended him, but
yep,
then immediately, like minutes after, deleted that tweet and went on video and was
hmm
like, hey, as a matter of fact, listen, this shit is uglier than I thought, my guy. So
right,
I can't defend my boy. So he knows more about what he thinks. Because he also said if anything goes any further, the revelations that could come about could flip the game upside down. If everything comes out, it could get extra hot in the kitchen for Udoka. That's what he said on Vlad TV.
yeah,
So he knows a lot more than what he's putting on, bro. He just needed somebody just need to come out and just say what's going on
yeah.
because
I mean,
everybody is lost, bro.
with all of the burner accounts and all that stuff, somebody needs to go on their burner account and just let it all out.
I mean, shit, Kevin
Whether it
Durant need
be
to go ahead and do
Udoka,
it. All the burners he got, let
you know what
KD
I'm
do it.
saying?
Shit, fuck
Yeah,
it.
whether it's Udoka does it, Nia Long, who we have not really even touched on
Haven't heard
her at
anything from
her
her,
part of
dog.
it, or heard anything. Well, she did release a statement, but it wasn't much to
It
it.
wasn't much, yeah.
But we haven't even touched her point of view of this whole situation. Somebody just needs to say, listen, this is what happened from a burner account if they don't want to be the main source, but this is what happened. This is what's going to happen, and this is why he has been suspended. Because I mean, even a week later, to me, for what has happened and what we know, crude language, consensual relationship, him to be suspended for a year is still just. it seems like a bit much to me. And on top of the fact that he's going to lose half of his, or his pay is going to be cut too. So
Mm-hmm.
you suspend him for the year, you take half of his, or you take a portion of his salary, which understandable for taking
Understandable.
his salary. He's not going to be coaching. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have it hanging in the balances if he's going to be the coach for you next year or not. I mean, like I said last week, just fire him if you
Just
need to do
fire
all
him.
of that.
Just let him go, bro. Just let him go. And then I'm glad you touched on that about him even possibly even being the coach next year, because Mr. Grossbeck, the
Hmm.
partial owner of the team, comes out and says he will not. They will not stand in the way of him seeking other coaching opportunities.
So that to me that means he's fired. I'm just be honest with you.
Honestly, I agree. I agree. But the the thing that fucks me up is that what other team with all this looming in the balance is going to even consider him without any clarity about what's going on in the situation?
That's a good question. Somebody will though. If we're being honest, somebody will because of what he did in his first year as the head coach of the Boston Celtics and how they went from being at when they first started the first half of the season, they were what, out of the
They were,
playoff
I think
picture.
they were out of the play. I think they were below 500, and then the second half of the season they went crazy.
They caught fire and made it to the NBA Finals. So somebody will give him a chance, I believe.
I think
But yeah, I'm with you. It needs to be some clarity, or what's going to happen is other organizations as well as Boston are just hoping that the media and the public just says, okay, we don't know what happened, which is not going to happen.
it's not going to
That
happen.
they just forget about it and he can come back, hush hush and just go
Mm-hmm.
about his business. But as soon as he comes back to any organization, that media storm is going to come back around and saying,
Facts.
well, whatever happened.
I mean, but I do agree with you that the way he did in the first year speaks volumes to the type of coach he is.
Hmm.
But depending on it's so much hidden information from the Boston Celtics that they have to bring some kind of clarity, because if it's something that's crazy that he did, like grape or
Yep.
SA, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like,
Yep.
then ain't no organization taking him.
Yeah.
Period.
No
You know what I'm
doubt. And
saying? But
he
if it's
should
yeah,
he should
he
serve
shouldn't
some
be
time
taken.
too, honestly.
Facts. But if it's something as, I want to call it small because it's not small, but if it's something that's, if it's just the consensual relationship,
Hmm.
then I agree with you. Somebody will definitely give him a chance, being the type of coach that he is. But
Right.
they have to clarify before any other team gives him a chance. They have to clarify, because it can't be anything crazy for another team to be like, all right, cool, Udoka, we got you. You're the head
Right.
coach of the Chicago Bulls. Because
Right.
if he has some kind of SA situation, any allegations
Hmm.
like that going on, ain't nobody taking him, bro. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Ain't
mean,
nobody taking him.
but if you go off of just what we heard from Matt Barnes, then it'll all come out, and he's definitely not going to have any type of
No way.
profession um, in the NBA or anywhere for that matter
Mm,
after the fact. But I mean,
nah,
listen,
facts.
I know Pac taught us that revenge and a piece of what is the sweetest joy, but
Uh,
we as men gotta stop putting ourselves in these situations.
that's so fat.
You know what I mean? And for for the youngins that may
I
listen
ain't
to
no
this and
killer,
don't
but don't push me.
you know what I'm saying? For the youngins that don't understand what I'm saying, go back to listen to Hail Mary Machiavelli album,
You know what's
Tupac,
crazy, Lo? I
and
was
you'll
about
see.
to wear my Poetic Justice Tupac T-shirt
Yeah,
today, but I couldn't find it. I was like, "Yo, then you brought it up. That's funny." But nah,
yeah, yeah.
that definitely makes a point in this situation for sure.
Yeah, we gotta stop putting ourselves in these situations, and that comes from my wife, which is ironic because I talked to her about a lot of stuff, and she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Yeah, men just put themselves in situations that they shouldn't be in." And I'm like,
I swear, and it's
"Yeah,
all because it's all temptation and lack of self control. That's
self
all it
control."
is. It's
Yeah,
lack of self control and giving in to temptation. That's all it is, man. Shout out to Stacy for that, yo. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, she got a point. Shout out to her for that, because
yeah.
it's definitely the truth, man. We got to stop giving in to the temptation to have a little bit more self control than ourselves, especially whenever you have a fiance, a beautiful fiance, a
Mm-hmm.
family, a
Mm-hmm.
career.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you put yourself in that situation to lose all of that? It
To
don't make
lose
no
it all,
sense, bro. To lose
to
all
lose
of
it
that,
all, and
and
we've
for
seen it
just for
happen multiple times.
Yeah, just for a piece of cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey, I like that.
go just for a piece of cheese. Like you can go home and get that, my boy. Like
You know,
you got
hey.
Neil Long in the crib. What the fuck did you do? Like, come
But
on,
okay,
bro.
well, let's cover that one
All
real
right,
quick.
go
And I
ahead, go ahead.
know, I know, this
I
is
don't know
not gonna
why.
come
I
because
know.
I think you know what I'm about to say.
Go ahead, go
Uh,
ahead, go ahead.
and I this is probably not going to be received very well, but still, like Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, probably the baddest thing walking. Who else got?
Supposedly, allegedly.
Suppose allegedly. There you go,
Yeah, yeah,
allegedly.
yeah.
Um, Nia Long just got cheated on. Um,
Chris Brown was beating up on Rihanna.
well, we didn't
And
have
he
to
cheating
say
on
that.
everybody. He been cheating on everybody.
Yeah.
But
So I
Rihanna is
mean,
said to be one of the most beautiful women in the world.
right. So I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
long story short is, somebody can, just because of how the public views a person, when you actually are
Hmm.
with them, they could
It
be a
could be
totally
different.
different person. And then
Agreed.
they also could be like, people get tired of people too. Like, to be married for as long as some people, some like older generations have been married, you have these 60 and 50 and 60-year marriages. That's rare, but you have to
Super rare.
really
Yeah.
you have to really love somebody and want to work on a relationship. And right now we have too much access to other individuals that we didn't have access to in 20 years ago, 30 years
Facts.
ago. We didn't have
That's
access to these
facts.
individuals. Now we can get on our phone and see a beautiful woman or a beautiful man that lives 6,000 miles away and start a conversation.
That's a fact. That's a
So
fact.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, like you said, but she probably if he looking outside of his engagement, yeah,
mhm,
outside of his relationship, it's something she won't doing at home. But at the
right.
same time, at the same
They
time,
were apart too. They
they
didn't live
were apart
together
because
together.
she was still in LA, he was in Boston.
Yeah,
She was in the process of moving, which we'll talk
moving.
about as well. But
Mhm.
that still don't mean, bro, like that you got to give into that temptation. I'm with Stace on this, man. I'm with sister-in-law on this, bro. You got to just stop putting yourself in a situation. You don't have to give into that. You don't have to
Yeah,
have that situation
100.
going on, bro. I don't care what kind of power you got. I don't care what type of money you got. I don't care who you are in this organization. Don't give into the temptation, bro. That shit don't make no sense, bro. Don't make no
So
sense
that's your final thought on this? Don't give into the temptation.
on that
What's your final
situation.
thought? Okay, yeah.
Well,
So how?
we still got to talk about the ring camera, bro. We ain't
Oh,
brought that up yet. We ain't brought that up yet.
oh.
So Kevin Frazier, who is a host of Entertainment Tonight, he tweeted
Mm-hmm.
that multiple sources confirmed that the female staffer that is being implicated in the situation with Udoka was uncovered by her husband after he overheard a private conversation on his ring camera. So
Dummy.
my mind automatically goes to what did he hear? Because
Right.
I was thinking to myself, like, she walked up to the door, like, girl.
Yeah. Or did she duck out? Did she like get a call? You know how when you with your significant other, well, I should not how you. I shouldn't say how, but you've seen these situations where you're with your significant other
Mm,
and you get a call from whoever you messing with
whoever.
or want to mess with, or a text, and you duck out and say, "Yo, what's up?" Yeah,
Oh, like
okay.
you think she went outside to the front door and he.
Yeah.
What I think happened, well, it could be one of two things. What I think happened
We
was
don't know for sure.
she was coming back, she was
Yeah.
coming back from her consensual relationship, and
Yeah.
she on the
Yeah.
phone with her homegirl, like, girl, that boy, that boy emailed him, blew my girl. Listen, man,
But why
listen,
would
that
you say that on the front door though? Like, why you can't say that in the
it's
car or
dumb.
like
It's
when you walk
dumb
out of
anyway.
it? Like,
It's dumb regardless.
yeah,
Like she shouldn't have been talking about this in front of her. You live there. You know there's a ring camera. You know it records
you
everything. As soon as
know
there's
it.
motion in front of that motherfucker, it's gonna record.
Yeah.
So you
That's why I
have to
said
understand
dumb.
that. But it was dumb. It was, but she probably was like ducking out, like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm gonna meet you tonight. I'm gonna meet you tonight, type shit. Like it could have been either
Right.
way. But that's how
That's
that's how
crazy.
this that's really all of the new news, because
Yeah.
that's how this was really found out, because the husband found out through this ring camera conversation. Like, why? Shaq is happy because Shaq invested millions into this motherfucker. So Shaq is happy that
Oh,
his
ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is happy as hell
And
that
Nas.
his
Nas invested in the
Nas
ring
too.
as
I didn't know
well.
Nas though. I know
Yep.
Shaq did for sure, but I
Yep.
know he is happy as fuck. He was like, "Yo, my investment doing this job, I'm about to make so much money, bro. Like, I'm about
Right.
to make so much money because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like,
Yeah.
girl, this nigga, ooh, this nigga, he made
She
a
better not
lot
have
of money.
said that.
Yeah, no, facts, shit, yeah, facts.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
girl, Ime, girl, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you might want to be the next one for this consensual relationship, girl, because he got that
Chill.
dang.
Chill. Chill. Yeah.
But nah, yeah. It's I mean, it's all crazy. And oh, did you hear about the situation where the woman that he was having the affair with was also in conversation with Nia Long, helping her plan her move?
So that yes, yeah. So again, it's a lot of stuff that has come out that has cleared up this whole situation a bit, and then there's some that's still unclear because I keep seeing conflicting stories about who the staffer actually is. Now that has been consistent though, is she's
Mm-hmm.
the travel planner or whatnot. But I've seen others. Again, I don't get into that portion of the allegations because I try to
Keep the
I,
names,
I
keep the
don't
women's names
I
out
try
of
to
it.
keep the
Yeah, yeah.
names out of it, especially
Try
if it's
not to
not
be.
clear.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's just,
It's a
man,
lot
I
going. But see, none of this would be going on if Boston would just be more clear
clear it
with the
up.
information, bro. Just
Yeah.
clear it the fuck up. There's no reason why, if you like I said last week, if you put in Udoka on Front Street, there's no reason why you can't name this young lady either. Because just like you said earlier in this segment, she is disposable. So
Right.
why are you worried about not
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like they don't like
yeah,
like you said, they
yeah,
don't care. Like they can hire her, they can fire her and hire somebody just like her tomorrow. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So if that's the case, but if it is the VP's wife, then that has something to do with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot going on, man. So much speculation, bro, that we don't have all the information about. And I don't, just like D'Lo said, I don't like to speculate either if I don't have all of the facts. But bruh, just Boston, come out with the
Clear it
info,
up.
bruh. Clear it the
Clear it
fuck
up.
up. There's no reason why
Yeah.
y'all still holding on to this information. It don't make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
None.
They if they clear it up, I think this situation will it'll some firestorms will come around it for maybe a week or two, and just like everything else, it'll die down and we're moving on to the next story.
That's a fact. That's a fact. What's your final thoughts on that?
Exactly what I said. They clear it up. If they clear it up, some firestorm will come around it, and we'll move on to the next story. And
Mm-hmm.
something new, I'm sure, will come up, and we'll have a lot to say about that as well.
That's a
Not
fact.
just us,
That's
the
a fact.
media and the public.
Yeah, well, hopefully they do clear it up, man. They need to ASAP.
Yeah. You have position groups that can make $50,000 a year from a nonprofit organization. What nonprofit has that much money to just give out to college athletes?
Well, just all of these well-compensated boosters put money in this pot, but then less than 10% of actual boosters and alums pour back into their schools at this smaller school.